Proud to serve northeastern and central Pennsylvania. This is WNEP TV 16, the news station. Now, Nolan Johannes, Karen Harch, Jack Ruland in Skycam 16, meteorologist Tom Clark with his backyard forecast, and Tim Carlson Sports. This is Newswatch 16.
Good evening. The Keystone landfill will stay open, at least for a week.
The state had ordered that the landfill in Dunmore shut down at midnight tonight, but a judge in Philadelphia today changed that.
Newswatch 16's Bob Reynolds was in Philly today. He's live now in Skycam 16 over Scranton. Bob, what happened?
Well, Karen and Nolan, the judge says that the health of people in the city of Scranton and in Dunmore would be put in danger if the Keystone landfill closed. Now, officials today in Philadelphia were using the words disaster and emergency to describe what would happen if the landfill closed. But, as we mentioned earlier, that's not going to happen. A small army of lawyers representing Scranton, Dunmore, the landfill, and about 3 trash haulers filed legal papers in Commonwealth Court in Philadelphia. They were hoping to block the state's move. The Department of Environmental Resources says that the Keystone landfill is hurting the environment and is basically filled to the brim. Local officials who came here to Philadelphia say they're especially disturbed at DER because, according to those officials, DER always led them to believe that the Keystone landfill was a good operation, not hurting anyone or anything.
They told us it was a model landfill. And when we heard from DER, there was nothing wrong. And in fact, they were recommending people to come to our landfill. They're the ones that brought these people here.
During the court hearing, DER attorneys called the landfill mismanaged and asked the judge to allow the landfill to close down. But outside of the courtroom, they declined to comment. Meanwhile, representatives for the landfill and others had plenty to say.
It gives the city of Scranton, the borough of Dunmore, and all the other municipalities in our area some breathing room, and that's what we wanted to get today.
You know, we have to start thinking about people, and that's what it all boils down to, and that's what I hope that DER will do. They'll look at the whole overall problem and say, what can they do to help to resolve the problem? They're not going to help it by shutting it down.
Now, the judge's order affects a lot more people than just here in the city of Scranton and in Dunmore. The judge's order actually affects about 2 million people in about 30 municipalities all across the state of Pennsylvania. That's according to court papers filed today. That's because those folks depend on the Keystone landfill to get rid of their trash, too. But the Keystone landfill isn't really out of the woods yet. The judge's order is only temporary. Another hearing will be held before that judge next week, and at that time he could decide to either continue his order allowing the Keystone landfill to remain open, or he could order it shut down. Bob Reynolds, Newswatch 16, with a live Instacam report aboard Skycam.
Thank you, Bob. Will the landfill problem in this area mean there will be more illegal dumping? Newswatch 16's Mark Davis reports that is a concern in one Luzerne County community where illegal dumping is already a problem.
Residents of the Avondale Hill section of Plymouth Township call this area the Pit, but by taking a short look around, you could rename it the Garbage Pit. This large mine pit has been a dumping ground for what the neighbors say has been the last 3 to 4 years. People have been seen carting everything from furniture to appliances up here to dump them. If you look even more closely, you may be able to see a number of old cars and trucks which have also been dumped into the pit. And the only way to get to the pit is on a series of makeshift roads, and along those roads, a series of mini dumps. Plymouth Township Police Chief William Schultz does what he can, but he's the only full-time police officer.
Our land in Plymouth Township has been abused by illegal dumpers, okay? And it can only get worse. There's no getting better. With the landfills closing, there's no getting better whatsoever.
That concern is also felt by DER, which realizes what the future could hold.
Unfortunately, I think it might. If there are fewer legal disposal areas to go to, people will take the easy way out. Out in the woods, out in the strip pits, along the side of the roads.
The fear is this scene of discarded dumped trash in the future will not be limited to just remote areas. It's feared it could be seen just about anywhere. Mark Davis, Newswatch 16, Plymouth Township.
When Newswatch 16 continues, we'll celebrate freedom as Jews around the world begin Passover.
Plus, Action 16 will help a Columbia County couple with a heat pump problem that left them steamed.
On Monday, I want to make the LT. Jim got Indiana Avenue.
Oh. Tuesday, I want a Coca-Cola.
Jimmy, Illinois Avenue.
Oh.
The game Monopoly has come to life at McDonald's. Win food, vacations, $1 million. Collect the right game pieces or win instantly.
Today, fries.
Jimmy, Kentucky Avenue.
Oh.
And a Lincoln Town Car.
Oh.
do not pass go. Go directly to McDonald's.
Here's something special from our oven that you'll be loving.
It may surprise you to know that all these different breads have one great name, Country Harch. And they're all baked by your good neighbor bakers right here at Wholesome. And each is different in texture, flavor, and aroma. And each difference is delicious. Country Harch. Enjoy the difference.
Tonight, the Jewish community around the world begins celebrating Passover, the religious holiday that marks freedom from slavery in Egypt for over 3,000 years ago. Newswatch 16's Melissa Sander is live now in Scranton at Temple Hesed with more. Melissa?
Well, this is the first night of Passover beginning at sundown, and it goes on for another 8 days. There are about 85 members and friends of Temple Hesed here celebrating the Seder, and that is the feast and service for the first 2 nights of Passover. Right now, Rabbi Milton Richmond is leading them through an hour-long ritual, just began a few minutes ago, and during this, they talk about the plagues that God is said to have brought against the Egyptians until the Jews were freed from slavery. And one of those is when the firstborn sons of the Egyptians' lives were taken. But the homes of the Jews were passed over, and that, of course, is where you get the name of this holiday, Passover. Now, during this ritual, everyone here eats symbolic foods from the Seder plate. There's mor, which is horseradish, as a reminder of the bitterness of slavery, and there's carpet, which is greens, or in this case, lettuce, dipped into salt water. The greens are a symbol of spring, and the salt represents the Jews' tears while they were enslaved. Now, Rabbi Richmond tells me that this holiday is just as important now as it was thousands and thousands of years ago, maybe more important, because there are so many people throughout the world who are still enslaved, who are still hungry, and because of the many Jews in the Soviet Union who still cannot practice their religion freely. I'm Melissa Sander reporting live with the Instacam from Temple Hesed in Scranton. Karen and Nolan?
Thank you. Some Columbia County viewers say when they bought a heat pump last year, they figured it would mean lower electric bills. Instead, they say higher phone bills, trying to track down the company that sold them the unit. The couple claims the company took their money and for a long time did not deliver until they called Action 16's Jerry Gartenberg.
What do you make of this? A heat pump unit that was purchased last summer but is still not hooked up? In fact, part of it is still in the box.
The reason is for the last 8 months, the folks who ordered this heat pump had been waiting for the Klein Heating and Air Conditioning Company of Berwick to give them exactly what they paid for.
Lori Lex and her husband paid the company close to $2,000 in July for a pump and the coil you need to make the unit work. Klein Heating and Air Conditioning delivered the pump in October, but didn't give the Bloomsburg couple their coil until March. And then only after I told the company president that Action 16 planned to broadcast a story. The Lexes say for months they had no coil, no way to use their heat pump, and no straight answers from the president of Klein Heating and Air Conditioning.
Had we known we'd have to wait this long, we would have never given him $2,000 back in July of '86. Never. We didn't have that money to throw away.
I feel that, again, I was waiting for information from those people so that the right coil could be delivered for the job.
Company president Charles Shotwell told me he needed to know whether Lori and her husband planned to pump heat downstairs and upstairs in their home. But then I heard a different story.
We had told her months ago, after the October, being that we weren't installing it, she could have come up here and got her coil. She wanted us to deliver her coil. I didn't feel that we should deliver her coil because we were not at that point installing this job.
Lori Lex says there is one true story.
Our calls were being ignored. We tried to find the man, and he was never around. He made one phone call to the man, and the next week we received our coil.
And now that they have their coil, they're hiring another company to install the heat pump. Now, Charles Shotwell of Klein Heating and Air Conditioning tells me that the Lexes owe him a couple of $100s for some refrigeration lines he says he put in months ago. The Lexes say the charges are news to them, and they have not received a bill for the work. Well, if you are having trouble working up a solution to any kind of consumer problem, you ought to send me a letter. Jerry Gartenberg, right here at Action 16. We're at Box 16 in Avoca, Pennsylvania. The zip is 18641. Karen?
Okay, thanks, Jerry. Well, the Weather Watch is next with Chief Meteorologist Tom Clark.
And on a Monday, I think it's only appropriate that we find out what the week ahead looks like.
Yeah, I think tomorrow should be one of the nicest days of the week.
All right, that's a good for starters.
For starters, however, when we come back, I'll tell you what's going to be arriving by the middle of this week. You're watching Newswatch 16 on WNEP TV. We're proud to serve Sweet Valley and all of Luzerne County.
It all started here with the legendary foods of Italy. And when Progresso came to America, we proudly continued the tradition. We're proud today of Progresso soups like our magnificent minestrone, crowded with a garden of delicious vegetables. We're proud that our hearty chicken soup is truly hearty, with large chunks of chicken, enriched pasta, and vegetables. But try all our wonderful soups and taste the pride of Progresso.
Hi. Today I'd like to show you some of the spectacular scenery that we've come across while traveling America to find out why people love Pizza Hut pan pizza. Roll the film. Here you have your spacious crusts, your amber waves of cheese, your pepperoni's majesty. No anchovies, please. Pizza Hut pan pizza. Sure makes you proud to be an American, doesn't it? I'm Rich Hall.
Look for the SureSave stamp of approval, and you'll find great weekly specials like these.
Tropicana orange juice, half gallon, 99 cents. Keller's margarine, 1 pound quarters, 2 for $1. And skinless and shankless whole hams, $1.09 a pound. Or semi-boneless whole hams, $1.19 a pound.
When you want the very best, look for SureSave.
Look for the SureSave stamp of approval at a locally owned supermarket near you.
Ladies and gentlemen, may we present to you the man who has already cut his grass once. Tom Clark.
Yes. I got sore muscles now from doing that, but no, I got the old lawn cut last Friday, and the weather has just been beautiful, and it's a beautiful evening out back now. Well, at least it was nice on Saturday of the weekend. Of course, we had some rain yesterday, and about 1/10 of an inch fell here since midnight last night. The buds are getting fat on the crabapple tree, and the clouds are dissipating out back now. Let's begin in 7 Stars in Juniata County, where Terry Simonton has 61 degrees and some sunshine down there in Juniata County. Alan Weaver in Rosecrans tells me 62, and Joe Mitros in Meckysville has 54 degrees and still some cloud cover over the Poconos at this hour. Next, a view today showing the forsythia in bloom, and that's out there in Jersey Shore in Clinton County, a beautiful springtime scene along the west branch of the Susquehanna River. Out back now, we have a temperature reading under mostly clear skies now, 58 degrees, humidity 51%. The wind is from the north at 14, and the barometer is rising now from 30.12. And 60 the high here today after we started out at 45 for the low this morning. 85 degrees back in 1945, and the low 1 year ago, 26 degrees here in the backyard. Man, like winter. Look at the satellite, the radar view. Big thunderstorms at this hour from Missouri on down to the Gulf Coast. Even some snow falling out along the slopes of the Rockies. And even a few tornadoes are possible from some of these thunderstorms, even over the next hour or two. And it looks like the effects of this storm system will begin to spread over Pennsylvania along about Wednesday. Just a few light rain showers north of Binghamton now, and they could clip parts of Wayne County and Susquehanna County over the next hour or so. But otherwise, it looks good as far as the radar is concerned for the balance of tonight and for tomorrow. This high building down out of eastern Canada give us a nice day tomorrow. 87 in Jacksonville today, 4 in Yellowstone Park, Wyoming. And again, this storm system here will be moving east to affect us for most of the latter half of this week. Now, tonight's eclipse of the moon, first of all, begins with the Earth's shadow, 2 parts of the Earth's shadow as it extends out into space, the penumbra and the umbra. That is where the Earth blocks out all of the sun. And tonight now, the moon will be passing through this part of the Earth's shadow, the penumbra, and the deepest part of that eclipse will come at about 10:20, where just the part of the moon closest to the north may begin to darken up just a little bit, but nothing too spectacular. The full pink moon tonight, a beautiful night, but it's going to be cold with temperatures in the 30s in most places. A northeast wind, it'll be light. And the sunrise time for tomorrow morning is scheduled for 6:26, and the sunset at 7:42. So for tonight, clearing, a sunny day tomorrow into the 60s, a beautiful day. Then some showers Wednesday afternoon as we see it, and some rain on Thursday and maybe a shower Friday. The nicest day of the week tomorrow.
We'll enjoy it. Thanks,
Okay.
Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
Tim Carlson's next with the Sports Watch and concern for a former Yankee.
Plus the present-day team opening up at home.
We were on stakeout duty for Bella, Pennsylvania Yellow Pages.
Well, why should I advertise in your book when I'm already in the Bella, Pennsylvania Yellow Page?
Well,
I mean, how many people are going to use your book?
well, face it, fellas. The genuine Yellow Pages comes from Bella, Pennsylvania. 99% of the public knows it on sight.
85% of them call them businesses they find there. You see? What? You can judge a book by its cover.
Don't be fooled. Advertise in the genuine Yellow Pages from Bella, Pennsylvania. We wrote the book.
Hi, I'm Richard Akins from the Genetti Dinner Playhouse in Hazleton. Boy, do we have a great year planned. Oklahoma, The New Odd Couple, Woman of the Year, plus star appearances with Billy Eckstein and Phyllis Diller. In fact, I couldn't think of...
I am woman, hear me home.
Excuse me, are you Helen Reddy?
Yes, I am.
Helen, have you ever heard of the Genetti Dinner Playhouse?
Isn't that on 309 in Hazleton?
Genetti's. We're going to show you a great night out.
Helen Reddy, April 21 through 26, and on the air, the golden age of radio at Genetti's.
Well, what happened to the home team today? Did they play?
No, the Bills didn't play today, Karen. They were off because of rain and wet grounds. They're going to play 2 games tomorrow at Bowman Field. All right, now let's talk about another team that opened up today. The Yankees finally got the chance to show the home crowd their 87 club. After splitting 6 games on the road to open the season, the boys in pinstripes had their home opener today. Albie Oxenrider, who's been to the Mets and Phil's home debuts, didn't miss this one in the Bronx.
Yankee openers always attract all the celebrities, and today is no exception. From left to right, there's Mayor Ed Koch of New York, Nancy Reagan, Mario Cuomo, the governor of New York, and President Ronald Reagan. They've all braved the rain and the cloudy skies to come here and see the 1987 Yankees open up at Yankee Stadium. And while these guys were just imposters, there was one real-life celebrity on hand, the one and only New York City Mayor Ed Koch.
Well, I always come to the opening game, and then I pray for a Subway Series so I can come to the last game as well.
More than anything, this New York party was for the baseball fans. It was a chance to cheer their favorites. These moments would last forever, even if you weren't a Yankees fan.
How was the trip up here? About 5 hours. Got stuck on the George Washington Bridge, probably about an hour, hour and a half outside New York. Is it worth it? Yeah, I suppose it's worth it. Yeah. It's always worth it to see the Yankees lose.
Is this a special day for you?
Yeah, pretty special, I guess. Yeah, first opening day that I was able to make as a Yankee fan.
Is that right?
Yep.
What do you expected to see today?
Yankees, all the way. Yankees all the way.
The ceremonial first pitch was thrown out by Jackie Robinson's widow, Rachel, who afterwards spoke about the resignation of Dodgers general manager Al Campanis, who ironically was part of the organization that helped her husband break the color barrier.
I think we're going to make use of it. I think we're going to make positive use of the fact that Campanis is not alone. He speaks for a certain group of people, and he's made us all say, where am I in this issue?
Albie Oxenrider, Sports Watch 16 at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, New York City.
Well, after that, Albie and the boys took their seats to watch the Yanks hammer the Indians. Ron Kittle with 3 RBIs today, singles in Randolph and Henderson to make it 2-0 home team in the first. Indians back for 1 run in the second. Mel Hall takes starter Charlie Hudson deep to make it 2-1. Willie Randolph hot today, driving in 5 runs with 4 hits, both career highs. This 3-run double in the fourth gave the Yanks a 6-1 lead, and let's take a look at the final on the scoreboard. The Yanks win it 11-3. Texas and Boston postponed because of rain. In the National League, a couple of games. St. Louis over Pittsburgh 8-4. Cincy leads Atlanta 2-0 in the second. Well, the crowd at Yankee Stadium concerned about a former member of their favorite team, Hall of Famer Mickey Mantle, in the hospital. The former Yankee center fielder taken to the hospital late last night after suffering chest pains on a jet flight into the Dallas, Texas area. Doctors saying Mantle did not have a heart attack and is listed in fair condition. Mantle said in a statement released earlier today, "I'm tired, but I'm feeling fine." Mick, who is 55 years old, was a superstar for the Yankees from 51 to 68, elected to the Hall of Fame in 74. Those shots from the 64 World Series against the Cardinals. Well, how about that finish of the Masters Golf Championship yesterday? Unbelievable. Larry Mize winning on the second sudden death playoff hole. Mize, Seve Ballesteros, Greg Norman all tied after 4 rounds. Seve eliminated on the first playoff hole. Take a quick look at the shot that won it for Larry Mize on the second hole of sudden death. He makes this shot, and it'll drop. Watch it drop into the cup. Just hang in there for 1 second, and there it goes. And Larry Mize won the Masters yesterday. What a great shot. We'll see you later.
Thanks, Tim.
Okay.
When Newswatch 16 continues, netting the tennis stars of the future.
We'll share the work of a volunteer who wants to get kids behind the racket with no strings attached.
Is it that bad? You're moving out. Oh, don't go, honey. It's not me. It's that old clay cat box litter. It just doesn't absorb. Odors linger. Now look here. You need kitty whiskers, the all-new non-clay litter that effectively controls odors because it's super absorbent. Odors are whisked away. So don't go, honey. Stay with new kitty whiskers. Keeps a home smelling like a home.
Use Reynolds Wrap to breathe. Reynolds Wrap wraps right. Fights freeze or burn, you're gonna learn how Reynolds Wrap can breathe. Takes the cold, takes the heat from casseroles to dinner meat. Use Reynolds Wrap to breathe.
Finally, a volunteer from Wyoming County wants you to check out your closet so he can do some work.
Newswatch 16's Bob Costantini says Ned Learned wants to string your old tennis rackets for new tennis fans.
This is how Ned Learned spends his spare time at his Tunkhannock home. He revives tennis rackets donated to local tennis clubs.
There's an awful lot of them around, and everybody's closet has one. And yet, I think that most people in the country could play just as well on a racket like this as they could spending $400 or $500 for one of the newer models.
The United States Tennis Association collects tennis rackets, and people like Ned Learned restring them for free. He knows wherever this racket will go, it will get a lot of use. The USTA holds in-school clinics like this one at Scranton's McNichols Elementary School. Rackets Ned has brought back to life are used by youngsters to learn the basics. Ned Learned spends much of his time as a volunteer assistant tennis coach at Tunkhannock Area High School, but it's in settings like this one he gets his most satisfaction.
You can take a child of 7 or 8 and give them 10 minutes and you automatically see improvement, and they see improvement. It's not frustrating. They can see and feel that they're accomplishing something right away.
Learned helps serve them up at this clinic. He never played professionally, but success in business allows him the time to help promote the game he has loved for 41 years, since he first picked up a racket.
So I'm going to try to do it this summer.
You think you're going to try and learn?
Yeah.
More than 200 rackets restrung for free by Ned Learned are now in the hands of school students. Bob Costantini, Newswatch 16, Scranton.
And that's our serve from Newswatch 16 for tonight.
Enjoy your evening.